For those who have missed my introduction, I work in brain science. I'm a brain researcher. I know that this particular term excites you, but the subject today is a little different. I'm not going to speak about brain at all. I'm going to speak about something which is more, hold on a sec, which is more closer to the education world, and that is one area of our work for which I have given you the document in your hand. This conversation is not going to be a presentation per se. There is a PPT presentation there, but I would like to keep it more of interaction, because there could be so much to learn from you guys, for me, in the education space, and I don't want to miss the opportunity. So let me begin by setting a context to what we are doing here. Does everybody agree that we are going to, as a player in the education arena, we are going to talk about, or we are going to focus on an entity called a student? Is that the most important factor in this? Those who say yes, can they raise their hands? Only one person feels the student is important? Okay. Yeah. The question is, do we all agree that the student is the focus area for education?
Yes.
Thank you very much. You know what? This also does a good job. So people who are little sliding away, they come back here. See, first of all, I'm good with English, right? No problem. I can speak 3-4 languages. So one is English, one is Hindi, one is Marathi because I come from Maharashtra. One is Russian. Yeah. Even if I speak Hindi in Marathi. That is how Maharashtrians do.
Except
Yeah.
Russian and Marathi, you speak in either.
Sure. So let me set the context of what I'm going to talk. How are the kids today? How many teachers here who are doing teaching in the classroom? Please raise your hands. Teaching in the classroom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very few. How many principals of the school? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, quite a few. More principals than teachers, actually. Kids today are called as digital natives. Have you heard this term by Andrew Purdy? Digital natives. Essentially, the message in this term is saying that they know better the equipments and gadgets than you do. Central message. Because they have learned the things that way. You are now acquiring those gadgets and interacting with it, but they already have been brought up with that. The technology has been engaging for us. If you look at people, if you look at kids today, they know how to use laptops, how to use tabs, how to use cell phones. It is good thing or bad thing? Both. The way you see it panned out today, do you think it is making a good impact more or a bad impact more? General, I mean. Depends on the screen time, and we don't have a way to know that. This is the statistics among the study group. How many people are doing what? This is in the school kids, primary school kids. Unfortunately, 90% kids are not only using it, but overusing it. A lot of them have it in their bedrooms, in their beds. Nowadays, because we have, previously when I was growing up, we fascinated computers. Now, that time computers could do very little. Today your cell phones are doing a lot more than what computers could do then. Now the power of computing is there with you with all multimedia capabilities in your hand at the bedtime for kids. What it is doing for kids is little bit concerning. You know, these are the things which are happening. Majority of the technology, first of all, is used for entertainment. It is not used for learning. No matter how much we, in these conferences, how much we speak about it, they are still the majority use is for the entertainment. Second, there's a lot of risk having these gadgets too much. People get addicted.
I have a question.
Yep,
Can't children be entertained while learning?
they can be, yeah. And that is why Byju's is making it good.
That's what I'm saying, that you said that
No, when I'm putting this point, I'm actually separating the two things. So I'm not considering which is overlapping. So ground play is a brain development, or it's a waste of time?
it is very important. It's a brain development. They do.
It is. It is.
In fact, when you research, the children learn more out of the class.
Thank you very much for. Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah. Most of the times, because there are overlapping areas, what if student is playing from morning till evening? Is that recommended?
No child will play. No child will play. It depends.
They do. They do. They do. Now come summer holidays and you will see what they do throughout the day.
That balance has to be played more. We have the right.
Yeah, yeah. No. So here we are trying to separate the things. We are trying to see them in black and white for our understanding. And I'm talking not about the special kids, I'm talking about the average kids. So we will take the bell curve here. Now in this process, what is happening with the role of the schools? She rightly mentioned that if somebody has learned, somebody has read Alvin Toffler, we already know that the pace outside the classroom is too much and the pace inside the classroom could not grow. The result is classrooms have become boring. Roles of the school will depend on the purpose of education as you see it. The purpose of education, as mentioned here, is to make you pragmatic, not to make your life meaningful at all. Because if you are pragmatic, you will find out the meaning by yourself. Now a few more questions. First of all, we are here to talk about innovation. Do you feel that innovation and creativity is required in education?
Yes.
How many say yes? How many say no? About 10 of them. Do you think the technology can bring in innovation and creativity? Only creativity? Okay, okay. It's a mix. Where should innovation start in the school? So who is responsible whether if I am running a school and my innovation quotient needs to go up, who should take the onus? The parents in my school? Teachers? So parents are not in your school, but teachers are. So probably the teachers? You educate the parents about everything, but the initiative will start from the school, from teacher, right?
With due permission of the management.
Definitely, yeah.
I'd love to meet you after.
So the focus here,
There will be a check from the other side.
that's true. That is the sad story of the education environment in which we work, and that is why I'm trying to bring your focus to the very, very essential element. And I started with how many teachers are there who teach in the school. Unfortunately, teachers are very, very innovative. They want to put in the innovation in their daily practice. There are structures which are avoiding this. Manish Sisodia also rightly said that. Second question for you is, should schools' performance be judged year on year?
On what? Based on what?
First of all, we will come to that. Should it be judged? Yes, no, maybe? Yes. Now, what is the contemporary parameter of the school performance? Results? Yeah. Right, right. And then put hoardings of this size, displaying the students, what percentage of students passed, how many are in the merit list. Correct. It's been changing very slow. Very, very slow. Still today, this is a reality for 90% of people. Question 3. Do you believe that there is a pressure on teachers? There is. Oh, thank you very much. Now this has to be noted by the principals who are more in numbers here. Then, last question, why does student study? Yes, yes. For marks? Is that the unanimous answer? Okay. Exposure, learning, majorly marks. Marks. Okay. So the answer to this situation is, we need to make our teacher free if we want to start off an innovation in a school. If we could do that in some way, then they are set off. Possible answers is a part of my work, and that is why I set the context. A part of the work which I have given you on the document which is in your hand also, solution is to provide them with the know-how of what they are being judged on, and not burden the kids by creating something that is scaresome. I'm talking about the exams in which they perform. Exam is a lot about the psychology of the performance rather than the content of study. See, in any performance, you will have to take care of 3 things. One is the management of time, because they have to complete whatever the task they are being given in the limited time. Second, the management of mind. And third, the management of content. Schools today are focused on management of content. They are not taught how should they feel when they go inside their testing room, how they need to manage time. What we have done, in 1 minute I will finish. Okay, there could be challenges in different ways. So for example, there could be practical challenges because students do not come from the same background. They do not come with the same learning abilities. They do not come with the same multiple intelligence composition. Cognitive challenges also could be the way you study a subject requires a different discipline. The way you study maths is not the same way you can study languages. So for example, maths will require symbolic memory as mentioned, and languages will require semantic memory. Now, practicing will work with certain subjects, and imagination will work with some other subjects. The answer to performance question has already been given by Aristotle long ago. We are just trying to implement it. What we are trying to do is what you have in your hand. We have created a self-study mechanism. It's a mechanism, it's not a product. The mechanism by which there are self-study question papers being given to the students. Students solve them, it sends them back to us. We have a team of 169 teachers who evaluate it. After that, the suggestions are sent back. Sometimes this happens as a counseling session. Sometimes it happens on the paper in writing. Sometimes it happens on the emailing system. Then the cross-checking also happens because they may have some opinions to talk about. All this happens several times throughout the year. When that happens, the student is more confident about what he is going to do in 3 hours time, which is allocated to him. Because there is a pattern which he needs to remember so that he doesn't spend much time on A question rather than the B question. We will encourage you to look into the document which I have given. You can ask questions. I'm available throughout the day. We have touched about 50,000 students in Maharashtra. We are not elsewhere currently, but this is the first attempt that we are going to set off our foot outside of Maharashtra in 2020. Your cooperation is sought. Thank you very much for listening.